Darlene.
It's a Sunday night, and your family has come together. The barbecue's set on the grill, and the beers are getting cooler and cooler. It's the night that you know will be the perfect way to end your week. You finally turn on the TV and flip the channel to TNT. Silence breaks out. The babies start crying, your brother drops his beer, and your mom just fainted. All this because there's no basketball game on. The NBA lockout has been an ongoing dispute between the NBA owners and the union since July 1st of this year. Kurt Hussein states in his article on Forbes that Bye Bye NBA, see you next year, that the lockout is expected to be the worst lockout since the last one in the 1998-99 season, which wiped out 32 games out of a total of 82 games and didn't start until February. Although some of you may not watch basketball, there's an estimated 28.2 million viewers that are left with the dilemma of having to figure out how they're going to spend the 3 out of the 7 nights that they usually dedicate to some good old-fashioned basketball. A solution has been long overdue and is affecting the whole basketball nation. I'll explain to you the situation by first explaining how the lockout came into place, second, the problems that affects the whole NBA nation, and third, solutions that will hopefully put an end to this lockout. NBA Commissioner David Stern stated in a press conference that we had a great year in terms of appreciation. Sorry. Let me explain to you how the lockout first began. A lockout is a work stoppage in which the employers, who in this situation would be the owners, stops its employees from working the basketball players from its playing games. NBA Commissioner David Stern states in a press conference that we have had a great year in terms of appreciation of our fans for our game, just not a profitable one for our owners. The goal is to make a profitable year that all 30 teams can compete in. Neither of these goals have been met, so therefore the owners had to put a lockout to the NBA. In Ari Paul's class struggle on the court, he states that the owners are citing a $300 million loss with 22 out of the 30 teams in the red. In a sluggish economy, they say the only way to fix this is through a hard salary cap of $45 million compared to what used to be a $55.63 million payroll. Owners want a 10-year pact reducing players' shares of revenue from 57% to 48%. Players will get a cut of about $700 million per season, or an average of $1.6 million per player when they used to be able to get $5.8 million a year. As stated in Michael Zanya's article, NBA owners will win lockout against players on Forbes. Most of the 57% of revenue came from TV commercials, ticket sales generated, and ads for big companies such as Nike and Adidas. The big difference from last year's salary, the players can't get used to it or adjust or come to an agreement with the owners. Since you guys know more about the causes and problems of this situation, let me explain how it has affected everyone included. Some of you may be wondering, why is this such a big deal? NBA players will still be millionaires and they'll still be able to live off their earnings. But it's not just that. There is more people that are in the NBA nation other than the players and the owners. David Stern also states, a lockout has a very large impact on people, most of whom not associated with either side. They're the employees of the team, they're the workers at the arenas, and there's a whole raft of people who make a living off of the industry. Just 5 months later, Derek Fisher, the spokesperson for the National Basketball Players Association, stated, today is another very sad day for our fans, for our arena workers, for our parking lot attendants, and for our vendors. During a press conference after the most recent meeting, just the 6th of this month. 5 months later, and not a thing has changed. The NBA needs to stop this lockout so that those involved with it can go back to living their original lives and doing the job that they have been properly trained to do. There has also been talk about players going overseas. In an interview with Pablo Torre of Sports Illustrated, he states talking about Darren Williams signing to go play in Turkey. He states that we have to understand that this comes in the environment of NBA Players Union that's actually encouraging players to seek out playing overseas just to counterbalance the NBA. Players can't just sit around wasting their time and their talent waiting for the lockout to end. They have to make their money somehow, and going overseas will not benefit their American teams. Also, the rookies have been left with nothing. They don't have a chance to get to know their team, to practice with their team, and just get used to them at all. Willie Hunter, the executive director of the NBPA, states on the website, "My level of disappointment is for our fans who follow our games. As stated earlier, 28.2 million viewers are left with nothing. And to put a stop with it, it leaves the nation with nights of who would win this game if the games were still on, or these teams would be playing right now." So now that we know more about the causes and problems and effects, the only way that we could come to an end of this is a solution. The best way for a solution is if the NBA owners and the union come to an agreement. The most reasonable arguments proposed in the last meeting on November 6th was that for the owners, they wanted 50% ban of basketball-related income to come to them and 50% to the players. But the players want a 50% to go to them, plus an extra 1% for the alumni. Just by a mere 1%, they can't come to an agreement, which isn't really fair. In Ari Paul's article, Class Struggle on the Court, he says that the union, and another way that the NBA lockout could come to an end is if the high-profit teams on the NBA would be able to share their money with the teams that lose more money than gain money when they play their games. Ari Paul states in his article that the union believes that if high-profit teams like the New York Knicks, LA Lakers, Chicago Bulls share revenue with the league, the NBA can save a handful of teams in which the union believes that are in economic despair. This would probably be the best decision for the NBA, and it will only come out to be good. Hunter also stated that the Lakers have to play somebody. If they don't play any other teams in the league, then what good are they? Which is really true. Another solution that I have had for this is a petition. I would like you guys to sign this petition stating to the NBA owners and the union that America as a nation of basketball lovers needs their NBA back. It's also asking for them to come to an agreement that will be equal for both sides, and for them to humble themselves for the fans. Because without the fans, the NBA is nothing. So since we have learned about how the NBA lockout came to be, the problems and effects that it has caused for the NBA nation, and proper solutions for this problem. I would love for you guys I hope you guys understand why more of this lockout needs to end. I love basketball myself, and without it, my life is just very bland and boring. My nights are just not fun. I don't want you guys to stand in front of the NBA building like picketing for an end to the lockout. I just hope that you guys believe like it will end if you guys sign this petition. Your Sunday nights will go back to how it was before, drunk and happy family time filled with basketball. So please, just to ensure a little difference to the situation, I would like you guys to sign this petition. Thank you.